Welcome back to Nation of Glory. Today, we share a story that blends the power of music, love, loss, and resilience. It's about a country singer whose voice has already touched millions, and how one moment, one story, and one woman's strength inspired him to write a ballad that the world will never forget. This is the story of Cole Swindell, a country artist with a gift for turning emotions into music, and how the words of Charlie Kirk's widow led him to write a song that speaks to the soul. Cole Swindell was already known for his heartfelt music, songs that fans described as raw, emotional, and full of truth. From You Should Be Here, a tribute to his father, to his chart-topping anthems about love, heartbreak, and life, Swindell always knew how to connect with people on a deeper level. But what makes this story stand out is how it wasn't just his own experiences that led him to his next masterpiece, it was the strength and the words of a woman who had just faced the unthinkable. Charlie Kirk's widow had been living through the kind of pain no words could ever truly capture. Grief is heavy, complicated, and unrelenting, yet in her silence, in her vulnerability, and in the way she chose to speak about love even in the face of loss, she carried something that touched Cole's heart. She once shared words that became the seed for a ballad, a reminder that even in the deepest valleys of sorrow, there can be beauty, memory, and meaning. When Cole first heard her words, he knew there was a song inside them. He sat down with his guitar, as he often does when emotions overwhelm him, and began piecing together lyrics that honored not just her pain, but also her courage. Music, for Cole, has always been a way of processing life, of taking what hurts and making it something that heals. The ballad he created is more than just a song. It's a message, a reminder that love doesn't end when life does. The words of Charlie Kirk's widow weren't about despair, they were about holding on to love, about cherishing the moments, about remembering that even when someone is gone, their presence lives on in memories, in laughter, in quiet whispers that stay forever. As Cole sang the first lines of the song in the studio, those around him felt chills. Some had tears in their eyes. They said it was as if he wasn't just singing, he was channeling something bigger than himself. Music has a way of carrying stories forward, of giving people who can't find the words themselves a voice, and this ballad became that kind of song. Fans who first heard it live at a small show in Nashville described it as one of the most powerful moments they had ever experienced at a concert. They said the room was silent, no one wanted to breathe too loudly, everyone just wanted to take in the words. And when the song ended, there were no loud cheers at first, just the sound of sniffles, the sound of people quietly wiping tears. It was a moment of unity, where strangers became connected through one song. Cole himself admitted that it was one of the hardest songs he had ever performed. Not because of the technical aspects of singing, but because of the weight behind it. He wasn't just singing for himself, he was singing for her, for Charlie, and for anyone who has ever lost someone they loved deeply. That's the power of music. It takes personal pain, and turns it into universal healing. It makes strangers feel seen. It tells us that we're not alone. And for Cole, this ballad became a way to remind his fans that grief and love can exist together, that sometimes the hardest stories can lead to the most beautiful songs. But what makes this even more moving is how Charlie Kirk's widow responded to the song. When she heard it for the first time, she described it as a gift, something she never expected, something that gave her strength. She said it felt like her words had found a new life, one that would continue to echo far beyond her own voice. That is the kind of impact music can have. It can take a single person's experience and make it part of a larger story that resonates with millions. Cole's fans across the country began sharing their own stories of loss after the song was released. Messages flooded his social media. People said they played the song while looking at old photographs, while visiting the graves of loved ones, while driving down roads that reminded them of people they had lost. Many said it was the song they didn't know they needed, the one that finally let them cry, or the one that finally helped them heal. And in that way, this ballad became bigger than Cole, bigger than Charlie's widow, bigger than any one story. It became a shared reminder of how fragile and precious life is, and how love is the only thing that truly lasts. Cole Swindell didn't write this song for fame or awards. He didn't write it for charts or radio play. He wrote it because he was moved, because sometimes a story is too powerful not to be told. And in doing so, he reminded us why music exists in the first place, not just to entertain, but to heal, to connect, to remind us of our humanity. This song will live on, as one of the most emotional chapters in Cole's career, a ballad that will be played at weddings, funerals, anniversaries, and quiet moments when someone just needs to remember they're not alone. And for Charlie Kirk's widow, it will forever be proof that her words, born from heartbreak, created something beautiful that will continue to comfort others for years to come. So when we look back at Cole Swindell's career, this moment will stand as a reminder that the best songs don't come from imagination alone, they come from real life, from real pain, from real love. And sometimes, those songs change the world in ways we don't even realize. Thanks for staying with us for this story on Nation of Glory. If this touched your heart, let us know in the comments, and as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, so we can continue bringing you stories that inspire, stories that connect, and stories that remind us of the power of human spirit.